we're talking now about the homework that you're going to have to do. So we're going to do number, let's see, this one's parallel, and this one's parallel, and that one's parallel. So let's go ahead and do number 1 together. And actually, let's do number 2 together. We're going to do number 2 from You're Ready together. And so I'm going to be doing a little bit of your homework in this video to kind of show you what you're supposed to be doing. And that will help you get started on your assignment. On the same grid to the right, so first of all, the graph of the grid to the right shows a line y equals negative 2x. On the same grid, graph a parallel line that is 4 units below it. So what I'm going to do to start is I'm going to put some dots on this line at its intersections. Okay. And so then all of those dots are going to shift down 4 units. And so our new line is going to be y equals negative 2x minus 4, because 4 units below it. And so, this looks terrible. What's the y-intercept as an ordered pair? That's 0, negative 4. What's the x-intercept of my new line as an ordered pair? This is a little bit funky. And so it looks like it's negative 2. Negative 2, 0. Yeah, it's negative 2. My dot's off, but it's negative 2. And right in point slope, in a point slope form using the slope using, so I'm going to write down the point slope form equation, which is y equals m parentheses x minus x1 plus y1. So we've got y equals my slope of negative 2, parentheses x is 0 minus 0 plus 4 plus negative 4, so minus 4. And then we're going to use it in point slope form using the x-intercept. We get y equals negative 2 parentheses x plus 2, because minus, let me do that a little slower, minus a negative becomes a plus. My plus 0 out here. Explain what's different and what is the same. So if we look at number part E, if we were to distribute the 2, very quickly it would become number part B. And the same is true for F. So what's the same about all of them is they all have a clear version of the same slope. What's different is what's emphasized and what's brought out in them. B and E are basically the same. They're both emphasizing the slope and the y-intercept, but F emphasizes the x-intercept. So that's how you do the ready. So you're going to do number 1 and number 3. So then we're going to be proving and verifying geometric relationships in the set. And so in the set, we're going to be looking for ways to do something about this. So the directions at the top say, the quadrilateral at the right is called a kite. Complete the mathematical statements about the kite using the given symbols. Prove each statement algebraically. So the first one says B, C, and DC. So if I look at the picture, I'm going to highlight those. BC and DC. And what do you think? Are they congruent? That's what the first symbol means. And I'm going to type congruent. Our second symbol is perpendicular. Our next symbol is parallel. And then this one is less than. And then this next one is greater. And the last one is equal to. And those are our words that go with our symbols. Okay, So we've got our first one congruent, our next one perpendicular, our next one parallel, then is less than, is greater than, and is equal to. So those are the words. So let's look at number 4 again. So we've got the two highlighted lines, BC and DC. And what do you think? Are they, which one of these do you think they look like? They're not parallel because they're meeting. They, I'm going to go with congruent because we're dealing with shapes. And so now the next part is proving it. So I decided to say they're congruent. And if they're congruent, they're also equal. So I could have said that they were equal, except for that I said line segments, and line segments aren't equal. But in order to be congruent, they have to be the same length. So I'm going to find the lengths of these line segments. Now DC is 3. Why is DC 3? Well, because it's 1. Wait, it's not 3. Just kidding, I lied. 1, 2. Wait, yes, it is. Okay. Okay, just kidding. It's 2, 4, 5. So DC is 5. Because it counted it. And why is it 5 and not 2.5? Is because each of these is too long. So it's 5. Now I need to show that this is 5. So this length is 4 and that length is 3, and I'm going to do the Pythagorean theorem. So 3 squared plus 4 squared equals the side I'm trying to find. So that's 9 plus 16, which is 25. So that's 5. And so BC is 5. So now I'm going to type, since they are the same length, they are congruent. And there we are. Now, I'm not going to do any of the rest of them on this page. BD and AC, you're going to want to go with a slightly, I think, greater than on that one. No, wait, actually not. Okay, let me just quickly, before I turn the page, these 3 symbols can only be used with numbers. These ones can only be used with line segments because numbers can't be perpendicular or parallel. So what that means is if there's a line on top, you can't use these green ones, you can only use those. And so these 3 are all the first 3. And these ones, I don't think we can say equal or greater than on any of these because we all have lines. So what I'm going to do is the triangles. I think I'll do the triangles next. In order to help me do this, I'm going to take a picture, but I want to have a clean picture. So I need the whole thing. And okay. And so I'm going to do, I think the triangles, I think that's probably best. And I think the triangles are going to have to be congruent. It's the only thing that makes sense. Triangles can't be perpendicular or parallel or equal or greater or whatever. So we've got ABC. So ABC is this triangle. And we are claiming that it's congruent to ADC, which is this triangle. And so that seems reasonable. I'm going to write congruent here. And I'm going to start typing. Why do I think that? AC, and that should have a line on top, can be a line of reflection if you reflect triangle. I'm going to put a symbol in here. triangle ABC across this line, you get triangle ADC. I think that's it. I think that's enough. Because of that, it's congruent. And so all I need to do to add to this is I need to put a line on top of AC. And that's it. So the idea is to make a decision about BE and DE, whether you think they're the same, AE and ED, whether you think those are the same, AC and BD, and remember, and you should be okay. I think the only one is that last one. BD and AE and A, B and B, C. Okay. Go ahead and feel free to use these when you can't come up with a way to use the other ones, even though they're not quite appropriate. But don't use equal. When you think it's equal, use congruent. Good luck on the rest of the set. And last thing I want to talk about is the ready. It says use the equation, the information to write it in standard form. And these are a little tricky, and I'm going to strike standard form. You may use any form you want. So I'm going to write the equation line. I'm going to give you some other forms. You've got y equals mx plus b, and point slope form, y equals m parentheses. Excuse me, I'm just trying to move this. X minus x1 plus y1. And you feel free to use standard form if you want to, but you don't have to use standard form. I'm going to go ahead and write it down. You may use any of those forms. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. I'm going to do number 14, which says all x values are -7 and y can be any number. That's that. All x is always -7, y can be anything. It's this. And that's it. So good luck with your homework, and we will talk again.